Hey everybody, Zeno here, how's it going? Lately we've been talking about Age of Calamity a whole lot, but I feel like we haven't talked about gameplay a lot. It's mostly been story this, story that, not a lot of gameplay. So, I came up with a brilliant idea, which is we can talk about the movesets of each and every character as we rank them in a tier list. So I thought this would be just a little fun thing we can do to just talk about all the characters' movesets even more. I did a whole Let's Play, you can kind of see my initial reactions in that, but here we're talking about more in-depth what I think over the full playthrough of the game, playing these characters a lot, exactly how I feel about them. Now this isn't going to be a tier list of objectively, statistics-wise, this is the best character, you need to play them if you want the best damage output and their best moves and everything. This is just a person who likes playing Warriors games casually saying, hey, I feel like this character is really fun to play. So that's what you're getting yourself into. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. Let's get into this. Oh, where to start? So if I counted correctly, I believe we have 21 different movesets here to cover. I can't say exactly characters because I do have Link on here 3 times because technically he has 3 different movesets with the spear, the long sword, or hammer in this case as I put right there, and his regular sword. Also, Zelda, she has her Sacred Awakened Power moveset and then the Sheikah Slate moveset as well, so we will be ranking those differently because this is more about movesets than character personalities. I'll talk about character personalities too, though. That might factor in. It's really a personal list, but if you guys do want to get into making the list yourselves and what you thought were the best characters, do it, yeah. I have a link in the description below. You can go this exact same tier list right here, fill it out. Send me a picture of it on Twitter or something, I don't know. I'd love to see it. What do you guys think? Let me know. So I think it makes the most sense to start with Link. I mean, he is the main character. I mean, actually, that can be debated though, because Zelda is actually a pretty big part of this game as well. She might be considered the main character of this game. I don't know. You start as Link first, so we're starting with him here. Link is actually a character that I was slow to like. He's a character that, like, at the beginning I thought he was way too basic, right? So you can see over here, we're in the meditative training, so we can actually, like, look at the character as we do it. But, like, he's got some pretty basic sword slashes. He has a shield surf and spin attack, and it's pretty basic looking moveset at first. But then you get into the really interesting stuff they can do, like backflip into a, well, I did it wrong, but yeah. Okay, that's what it is. I have to be, like, targeted onto the enemy to get it to work correctly. But yeah, as you can see, he can just like backflip right into a time slowdown, which is, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, especially like when you get to the later levels and you're fighting the blights and everything. It is so useful. So I love that. And also his like rune abilities are pretty good around the board, like all around. I messed up that statement, but yes, around the board, I guess that works. Basically, he's just a really good all-around character, has some pretty interesting, like, technical moves you can do, and I really enjoy playing him. Also, you plays him the most in the main story, so, like, the game kinda makes you learn Link, and once you do, you're probably gonna have a lot of fun with him. So I'd say Link is a pretty great character. I'd even put him in A tier, because I enjoy playing him, and I think he's super powerful. Let's move on to Impa, who was certainly a favorite character when the demo for this game came out, and we only had Zelda, Link, and Impa to choose from, but a lot of people really like Impa. She's a pretty fun playstyle, gotta say. I did not use her a lot during the campaign. I used her at the beginning a lot, but I didn't really use her late game a lot. She's really good, though. I cannot deny how fun she is to play as, and how, just like good from a actual attacking sense she seems to be, because she has the clones, and the clones are a little powerful, little bit. She also has this amazing Cronus move where she just rides the ice, and I love that so much. I will never get over that. That's amazing. Also, at the end of her combo, once you actually unlock that, you can pull out a bunch of frogs, and I feel like that should earn her S tier alone, but I don't know. I don't have enough experience to go off of if she's good enough in every situation, I guess. But in the situation she was put in, she was great. Character-wise, really fun as well. I love that actually, I didn't notice this until after playing, but the same voice actor that plays Impa in Breath of the Wild plays Impa in Age of Calamity, just like a much younger version. I love that. I love that. Like, the actor apparently had enough range that they could play both of those roles, and that's great. Also, I just love this one particular line.
Princess Zelda. Why not? Let's go take a break somewhere. I've gotten really... suddenly I'm really hungry.
I don't know why, but I love that line. So Impa is an A tier. I think we'll move on to like a totally different character now. Let's stop going out of order. Yunobo. He's the biggest one I see here. So we're going to Yunobo. Yunobo is an interesting one because at first I thought I liked him more than Daruk. You can see this in my playthrough. I say, oh, I think Yunobo might actually be better than Daruk. But then I look back at Daruk and I'm like, I actually like playing as Daruk. So I don't think I like Yunobo more than Daruk. But I don't hate Yunobo. I don't like him either, but I don't hate him. So, from like an actual fighting perspective, he's okay. He's fine. I still don't really understand the rock roast and why there's like 3 different categories for how you use them. Again, coming from a casual player's perspective, I don't really understand that. But he's got some really fun rolling around moves. Just a pretty fun guy to play as, I'd say. I think he's about middle of the road. I'm gonna put him in C. C looks like a good place for Yunobo. Okay, so who's next? Urbosa. Urbosa is a character that is interesting. Okay, so she's a lot of fun when she has fully charged lightning, right? But then you look at her without the lightning, and it's pretty boring, not gonna lie. Pretty boring. I'm not putting her in F, sorry. It's pretty boring, not gonna lie. So, I don't know. I feel like I love this character, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't love this character. Just like, look at her without lightning. You have this move, it's fun and everything, but you don't get to like carry on the combo like when you have lightning. The lightning gauge is something you can upgrade later on. As you can see here, I have a larger lightning gauge than I had at the beginning of the game, and I can just, if I can actually show it. This move, I absolutely love this move. This move like totally makes her entire moveset for me because it's just such a fun move to just continuously combo. And then she has some other cool stuff too, like if I can charge the lightning again, see, that's the problem. You see with this character, you have to stop and then go again, and then when you go, it's really fun, but you have to like wait, and it's not fun. But she has some other really cool moves, like that right there was pretty cool. And I think there's like even an electric shock one here. Yeah, that's the one, okay. And you just like kind of shock all the enemies in front of you. It's good. But as I said, there's a lot of downtime in between it. Character's great. I've always loved Urbosa, so she gets points for that. But I do think that she might be a C tier. C or B. I'm going to put her at C for now. We might move her later, but yeah, that's where I stand right now. Let's go for... I just see Sacred Zelda next, so we'll go to a Sacred Zelda. Now, the interesting thing about her moveset and how I feel about it is I think I prefer regular Sheikah Slate Zelda, and I'll tell you why. From the very beginning, when I first played the demo, you guys might remember that I really loved the Sheikah Slate moveset for Zelda. I thought it was great. I thought it was like really fun because it has like a lot of potential for traps and stuff like that. But you go into Sacred Zelda's moveset, and maybe I just hate it because I had so much trouble on one of the late game missions trying to take down 3 different Lionels with her Sacred Arrow moveset, and it's not fun. But I don't know, I feel like it's not as powerful as I thought it would be, and it's just kind of like it's okay, it's not bad. Later, when you actually upgrade her moveset enough, you get this really good light arrow move that can stun bosses, which is a very, very great, like, just godsend, because like a lot of bosses that's amazing on, like Link has the same exact thing with his push move at the end of his combo. And if I can actually show it off, I'm not going to get smashed 100 million times by this moblin. There we go. See, it instantly brings up the weak point gauge and takes out a sliver of it just by hitting them. So it's a pretty great move. Like, once you get that unlocked, the moveset kind of pulls itself together from there. You also have the mode where she goes into Ultra Power Zelda mode and just, like, rains down light arrows. It's good, but, like, your defenses are, like, just not really there when you're in this mode, so it also has like that big downside. I feel like it should be more powerful, I guess I'm saying, or at least have like a less lag between being able to dodge and doing the light arrows. So yeah, I'd say she's a pretty decent B. I think that's about it, because I'm telling you, that arrow move just pulls it all together for me. I love that. So B. All right, maybe I'm gonna really upset some people with this, but Terrako. Terrako is a character you unlock in the post-game of the game. Like, it's a big quest in the post-game. You need to rebuild Terrako and you get the secret ending, right? And that's all great. I love that, and all the challenges that you have to do, beating 3 stinking Lionels to get to it. And that's good. But once you actually unlock Terrako, I wasn't that big of a fan. Okay, so Terrako is built around this idea of charging up Guardian lasers, right? And you can do that while you attack. But the thing is, his regular attacks aren't that great. Okay, so he has a very short, like, range where he just, like, kind of spams some Sheikah weaponry there, and then he can do, like, this spin attack. He can just, like, do blast like that. And, okay, there is this one move where he just, like, does that. That's not the one I was talking about, but yeah, and then you can shoot that with that. So there is some combo potential there. When you first unlock him, it's terrible, because, like, I don't know, it's really bad. He doesn't have most of his stuff unlocked. As you go, it gets a little bit better, but I'm still not a big fan of Terrako. I feel like it takes him forever to bring down the weak point gauge, and I hate trying to, like, multitask the hold your laser and then also attack at the same time, and then sometimes it, like, knocks you out of it for some reason. And I'm not a big fan of Terrako, to be honest with you. Might be one of my least favorite characters in the game. For now, I'm gonna go with, I just noticed we don't have a D on this chart, so I'm gonna put in the D, and I'm gonna put Terrako at D. Alright, Terrako is at D, as it should be, but now we're gonna go on to a bit more of a character that I'm more happy to talk about, a character that I enjoy playing, which is Sidon. Sidon is just, like, freaking cool in so many different ways. Sidon himself was always freaking cool, but then he goes and he gets 2 different spears, which makes him even more freaking cool. And then when you do his just running animation, he pulls out a water shark. What's not to love? And then just like all of the movements in his moveset, just so fluid and fun to watch the animation. He even has this great gimmick where, like, you can power up your attacks by just having good timing. And he even has one of those instant stop the enemy and pull up the weak point gauge moves that I was so praising earlier. I mean, you have to have the timing right on, like, his combo, because of, like, the whole timing thing I was talking about. But when you get that, it's great, and I'm gonna show it off as soon as I can actually get it done. See, that would be it right there. See, oh yeah, okay, a guy did spawn in and it instantly hit him. It's so great. He doesn't have the, like, rush into the water and instantly get to the weak point of the head of the enemy like Mipha does, but I might even prefer him more just because I don't know, his moveset really resonates with me and I enjoyed playing it. I'd have to say, Sidon, right now, sitting pretty darn pretty, at A or maybe even S. Again, I might rearrange some of these at the end. Yes. Okay, so for this next one, I think it's about time I come clean on the I haven't played yet, which is Calamity Ganon. Let me just say, unlocking this character is very confusing to me. So I wanted to know how to unlock him, right? Because I wanted to play as all the characters. So I looked it up online, right? Because I was like, I don't know how to unlock him, so I'm going to look it up online. So I did that, and I found that apparently you have to be, like, level 74 and already have Terrako unlocked. That's what the internet said, at least. But I've done that. I'm way past level 74, like level 77, and nothing. So I have not seen the mission pop up on my map, and I don't know when it will, so maybe eventually I'll play as Calamity Ganon, but right now, that's a no. So hopefully he's fun, but I haven't played it with him. I'm sure he's fun. Like, he has to be, like, super powerful, like way overpowered or something. Like that's the only way it would work. But speaking of big characters, the Great Fairy. So I've heard that the Great Fairy is apparently a really good character that you should definitely play in this game because they're actually really good. But the thing is, okay, so I had a really bad first experience with the Great Fairy, as you might know. I chose the Yiga Clan hideout as my first stage to play as them in, and that's a pretty, like, hard stage to maneuver around in already. And then you bring in a giant, stupid Great Fairy that you can't see anything with, and that was actually a pretty poor decision on my part. But still, even in the big fields and everything, the Great Fairy is so slow to me, so slow with getting the attacks out and everything. They're so powerful when she actually can, like, do her thing and start attacking. But my problem is it's too easy to hit her, she's so slow to move around, and I'm just not really a big fan of her moveset either. I'm gonna put her with Terrako at D for now. She might move to F later if I'm feeling nasty enough, but that's where I'm putting her for now. I'm gonna give her points for just the wow factor, because when I saw that the Great Fairy was in this game and I actually saw how the heck they executed it, that was an amazing, like, experience right there. So I think she'll probably stay at D just for that, because my first reaction to her alone was just enough for me. Alright, let's move on. I'm gonna try to randomly select this one. Okay. Link with a longsword, hammer, whatever the heck you want to call it, his big weapon. I feel like this might be my least favorite of his movesets. I mean, I love all of Link's movesets, actually. And if you go back and watch my playthrough again, you'll see that I thought that the Sword Link was the weakest at the beginning, but I actually think that it might be the longsword. Then again, I also probably used the longsword the least, so I just a good time to bring up this point right now. I don't think any character in this game is, like, objectively bad. I love playing as all of them, actually, to an extent. So I feel like that's good. Like, the cast is a lot more balanced than I think in the original game. There were a lot of characters in that game I just didn't like to play as. Again, I think the leveling system actually helps with that, because in the first game, I remember it taking, like, a whole lot more money to actually level people up, and it's way more generous here, which I love to see that. But right now, I'm thinking maybe D. I mean, I legit have not played this weapon a lot. Like, maybe 2 missions, actually. Once I found out how to use the Master Sword correctly, I was just, like, all in on that. I haven't played Spear a lot either, but from what I played as Spear, I really loved it. Then again, I'm also biased because I fought Revali with the Spear, and that was just such a cool fight that I'm like, I just love it just from that. Again, bias. But, I do think that it's a good. Not a great, but it's a good. Okay, let's go back to Zelda. We did Sacred Zelda way earlier, but let's just do Sheikah Slate Zelda, which I'm also a pretty big fan of. Especially once you unlock all of her, like, everything related to her combos, and you can do, like, multiple pillars of Cryonis and multiple bombs, and just literally everything going crazy. You can pull out a minecart, for goodness sake. It's amazing. I really love that moveset as well, so I think it's actually just about on par with the Sacred moveset once you, like, even earlier on, I'd say it's better than the Sacred moveset, just because, like, I enjoy playing it more. But once you unlock, like, that instant stun for the Sacred moveset, it really pulls it all together. Same kind of for Sheikah Slate Zelda. I love using both of them, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I think they are about equal right there. I think that's a good place to put them. Let's do Daruk now, because I was talking about Yunobo earlier, but I want to talk about Daruk now. So in the beginning, I thought Daruk really wasn't the greatest. Like, he was okay, but he wasn't great. Then I started doing some side missions with him, learning how to roll around at the speed of sound with him, and it's so much fun, I gotta say. The Goron moveset, just because he has that roll, which I'm gonna show to you right now, if I can pull him out here. But once you figure out how to use that roll to, like, just move around so fast and, like, you use him great, and it's great, and I love it so much. It's like, look, this is basically Majora's Mask rolling around as a Goron. I mean, it's not as permanent as that, like, you have to stop at a certain point, but the speed is there and everything, and it's great. Like, his regular run animation, okay, that's fine, and he can do, like, a little attack like this. But I'm talking about hold down the X button, just roll around like this. It's amazing. I had, like, a mission in the Gerudo Desert where I just was taking out a bunch of people in the desert. You just roll around the dunes. It was great. That kind of sold me on his character. The Magma Pillar is not as cool as I would have hoped. I mean, you can pull him out. Oh, cool, that's cool. I can wait for him to open up his weak point gauge here in a second. Can pop that out. Wow, cool. That's okay. But, it's the roll, man. The roll gives him those points. And Yunobo has the roll as well, but Daruk's roll is actually faster, which, I learned after praising Yunobo for it. So, I think that knocks Yunobo down compared to Daruk for me, and I'd say, you know, I think I might have, like, overplaced Yunobo. Definitely, Urbosa is definitely above him. Yeah, I think that's good for now, I think. I'm already questioning that I put the hammer or the longsword for Link at D. Feel like that might need to go a little higher, but we'll see. We'll see. King Bosphorus Hyrule. It's time. So the king is an interesting one. Of course, he has the guise, I believe, where he changes between old man and king of Hyrule, and it's interesting. Doesn't make any sense with what's going on in this game because he never became the old man, but it's still fun to see. He too has one of those like instant stun attacks later on in his moveset. Maybe everyone does, and I just haven't unlocked it for every character because I haven't unlocked the full moveset for all of these characters. Just saying that right now. I think I've only done it for one character actually, which we'll see here in a minute. King's alright. King's okay. King is probably low C, I'd say. That rhymed. But the thing is, I don't know, it doesn't seem, it's not as satisfying as the others to me for some reason. Just like switching between the guys for your special attack, there's not like a lot special about it. He's just swinging around the sword in different ways, you know? It's just not as cool to watch and do, I guess. It is cool that he has like 2 different sets of specials depending on which guys you switch from, like if you go from king to old man or you go to old man to king. That is cool. But I don't know. I'm lukewarm on him. Lukewarm on my friend Bosphorus Hyrule. I also hate the way that he holds his sword. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's probably a great technique to actually hold the sword, but it doesn't look cool. He's just like, he has it out in front of his face, and it looks kind of dumb to me, you know. I do like how he just swings it over his shoulder when he runs around, but yeah. I'm getting way deep into this, so we'll leave it there. Bosphorus, you're a C. Let's move on to the real prize. Let's go to what I think might be my favorite character in this game. And I might have forced that upon this character by just loving them so much and using them so much and unlocking all their stuff as soon as I could, which made me love them more because I could use a lot of their more hidden abilities and special attacks that I don't have for a lot of these other characters. So he's probably a little bit it's a bit of a bias just because I unlocked everything for him and everything, but it's not who you might think it'd be, because I talk about Revali a lot and how much I love Revali, which is who you probably think I'm talking about right now. But no, this is a whole different beast, which is Master Kohga. I love this man. I love this guy so much. His performance from his voice actor in this game, amazing. His just everything about him in this game is so good. And it makes me want even more Master Kohga, and I want him to return in Breath of the Wild 2. Doesn't make any sense, he died, but I wanted to anyway, and I just love this character so much. So, I've been using him a lot, and he's actually really good. Like, really. You might, like, play him at first and think, oh, he's like a joke character. He has a move that he literally pulls out a banana and just doesn't do anything. But there's like a premise behind that where you have to like watch that, because he'll do his just really super powerful brain blast move, and if you just let that overflow, then he falls on the ground and throws a tantrum. But if you don't, it's super powerful because it instantly brings up the weak point gauge and you just demolish enemies. I don't know if you guys got any of that, but basically what I'm trying to say is Master Kohga is a on the surface level looking very goofy character, very not good looking character, but once you actually unlock his moveset and just like play around with him a lot, he's so good. He's so good, not just from a character perspective, but just playing as him. He can demolish people. It's great. Alright, I think it's about time we finish out Link's moveset with the spear here. So the spear is, as I said earlier, pretty fun. I kind of talked about it a lot when we were going into the longsword already, but it's good. It's fun. I like it a lot. You can go straight into the air with your first strong attack, and it's great. And you can do all these kind of cool flips and tricks. It's a lot of fun. You can speed around. It's it's good. It's good. I like it. It's good. That's it. See, like, who doesn't love that? You can just like go straight up into the air, and just like spear down. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say, just spear. I think we're gonna put it above Rhoam or below Rhoam, one of the two. I think that's a good place for it. You know, actually we put it above Yunobo maybe. Oh no, I'm doubting myself. I'm gonna do this. I'm pulling hammer up, I'm putting spear there, I'm putting Rhoam in between them. I think that's a good place. That's a good place to be. Alright, let's tackle another one of the descendants now. Let's start with Riju. Really interesting character. Really interesting. So, all speed-based, really getting around the battlefield really quick and just, like, ramming the enemies. And that's a lot of fun. But when you're up close, not the best. Not the best. So she's very much, like, focused on clearing out large groups of enemies, not really good at bosses, and, I mean, she's so darn fun, though, when you're just, like, rolling around the battlefield. So I'd have to say she's at least a C. I'd probably put her above Yunobo, actually. I think, like, maybe between Urbosa and Yunobo is a good place for Riju. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's do the last Descendant now. Revali and Teba. We'll do them together, because this has been a battle for the ages for me. I hate having to say that I like Teba's moveset more than Revali's, but I have to say that, because it's just true. I think everyone can agree that Teba is really fun to play as in this game, because just the combos are just written into his moveset. You literally just keep tapping A, and he'll just, like, continue attacking over and over again, and it's so satisfying and fun, and I love it. And maybe not the best character to, like, actually play as for, like to take things out as quickly as possible, get the most damage done, bada bing, bada boom, best scores, all that. But just so much fun to play as. You cannot deny that. He can charge up bomb arrows. He can just shoot a volley right into the sky, and he has so many just, like, moves where he just keeps going. He doesn't stop. He just keeps going. So I think that alone earns Teba at least a B, if not an A. I think it's going to be an A. Putting Teba in A. And I'm going to put Revali high B, I think, actually. Because Revali is an interesting character to me. I love him so much. But his moveset really relies on you being in the air. When you're not in the air, he's pretty useless. Except, at least what I have right now. I haven't unlocked any new combos for him on the ground, and I don't think I probably will, because I don't have a lot more to unlock for him. So I'm guessing maybe his moveset really is just super based on being in the air. And he's by no means a bad character. He's really powerful. But I think Teba outclasses him, actually. And just having to constantly be in the air, and so many attacks that bring you back down to the ground, have to go back up, get that lag, trying to go into the air with Revali's Gale. It's, it brings him down a little bit, just being honest with you, you know? So, as much as I love Revali, I think B tier for me. B tier. Okay, so let's get the last bad character out of the way right now, so we can have two great ones to finish this off. And I'm sure you guys can see where I'm coming from here, based on the three that are here, because two of them are really good, and one is pretty middle of the road, which is Hestu. Hestu is a really fun character to watch, extremely hilarious. Just watching Koroks beat the heck out of thousands of Bokoblins and Moblins and Lizalfos and literally everything in the world. They could beat Ganon if you want. But not the best to play as, actually. I said it back in, like, my video in the Sacred Spring when we used Hestu. He's not good at fighting bosses. Really crowd control based again, at least from what I saw. Not a bad character. Like I said, all the characters in this game, I love playing as them. Doesn't matter who it is. Maybe the Great Fairy. I have some problems with the Great Fairy. But I still like playing as Hestu. So I put him about on the level as Terrako, Great Fairy, and himself. I think those three kind of go right together. So I think we're gonna go with that. But I do want to use the F tier, so we need to we need to figure this out, how we're gonna position them. Maybe, okay. Let's put, oh, this is so hard, actually. Because I despise all three of them. And by despise, I mean I like them slightly less than the others, because there's quirks about them that I don't like. I'm still fine with using them. I think Terrako, though, might actually be F. Because the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't want to play as Terrako. So I think Terrako will be F. and then Great Fairy and Hestu tie at D. It's like a high F though, a high F, okay? F plus, okay? But I think that works, and that leaves us with 2 more. So let's see where we place him. All right, let's go into Monk now. Monk is such a fun character, and I don't even know if I can ever say his name right. Maz Koshia, Kiosha. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Monk for now, actually, because I get self-conscious about that. But Monk is so much fun from the beginning because he has like so many weird Sheikah relics and stuff he can use. Like just look at this stuff. What the heck is he doing? I don't know, but I love it. And then he can even like turn himself massive. You know, like he does in the Breath of the Wild DLC and everything. It's perfect. But then you get like even farther into his moveset and everything once you unlock stuff, and he can pull out like a bunch of Sheikah heirloom balls and everything. And then you can do, look at this. That's the wrong one. Okay, so I gotta figure out which combo it is, but I'm trying to show you something amazing, which is this right here. He can pull out a freaking shrine, just like out of nowhere. A shrine. Yeah. And it's great because like sometimes the collision on the courses, like if you're on a hill or something, just doesn't quite work, and the shrine is just like floating in midair. It doesn't look the greatest, but I still love it because it's insane and wacky and weird, and it's just anything like that is just something that I'll love. So Monk is great. I adore Monk. So I'm gonna high C or low B, I'd say actually. Oh gosh, I'm gonna put him at a high B, not a high B, low B, just because he's great. He's really fun. I like him. Anyway, Mipha, our last character. Let's go into her. So Mipha is a character that I've loved playing as from the beginning. She's just like at the beginning when you first unlock her, she's the first character that you're like, what the heck is going on? I have no idea, but it's working. And you tend to see that a lot more throughout the game, but over time you come to understand the movesets and learn a lot more about the characters. So yeah, over time I feel like I actually didn't like Mipha as much, just because she feels very weak, which I'm sure is intentional because like she can heal herself by just using a special. But I think the thing is that she's very great, but you have to be good at evasion and everything, and I'm not good at evasion, so I'm not the greatest with her. I still think she's a fun character though. I think she deserves a B tier, a low B tier, kind of like Maz. I'd say Maz and her are actually about in the same place with me. So interesting we picked them last. But yeah, I think that is our tier list, my friends. I think that's what I'm going with. Let's double check it actually, see if I see anything that I disagree with. Kohga, of course, in S tier. I don't know, should Link join him actually? I'm kind of debating that. Link might join him. Revali, Zelda, Mipha, Maz makes sense to me in B. We got some a lot of characters in C actually. Like I said, it's hard to rate them actually because I don't hate playing as any character in this game. But if I was to rate them, I'd say this is about it. Yeah, I'd say this is about where I'm standing. Link is like really close to getting S tier with me, but I think I'm gonna keep him there for now actually, just because little bit too low to be S tier. But that's what we're looking at. I'd probably say Teba before Sidon. Maybe both Sidon. I don't know. Interchangeable, I guess I could say. Don't read too much into the layers of each rank, I guess. But that's my tier list, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about the characters a bit, how I feel about them. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about my tier list? What do you think about your own tier list? Send it to me on Twitter or something in a picture. Would love to see that. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. We are getting pretty close to 10K. I'd love to hit that by the end of the year. This is a graph. This graph shows how many people watch my videos are subscribed and aren't. A lot of you aren't subscribed, so it's really easy for you. Helps me out a lot, and it's free. And just I'd love it if you would join us here for what's sure to be a good year for Zelda. Looking pretty good, 2021 for Zelda. So I'm excited. Hope you're excited. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. Xenogamer YT, Twitch page. We do stuff over there. It's a Discord server. Link in the description below. You can go over there. And I think that does it for this video, guys. Thank you for joining me for this tier list, and I will see you soon for even more videos. See you then. Bye.